Well, hello, everyone. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. I'm Mari Carmen Garcia from the Spanish Institute of Oceanography, and we are working in the BlueMissionMed project that is almost finishing in a couple of weeks. We'll end, and I think it's being a really successful project. But today we are having a special session devoted to the fisheries and aquaculture. We think these are really tricky sectors for the implementation of the mission, and it is not easy to access to these type of sectors, but I think this session will be really useful for us. Let me introduce you how are we going to develop this session. And this is I think you are seeing my screen. I'm sharing the screen, thank you. And this is the agenda for today. We are now starting with this very, very short opening because the main things are later, of course. First of all, we would like to introduce the context of what we are doing is the mission, the EU mission, to restore our ocean and waters, and it will be presented by Fedra Francocci. This is our coordinator from the CNR. Later on, I will show you some tools and resources we have obtained from the project, from the BlueMissionMed project. The following part will be the inspirational part. I think the core of what we are going to do today is to present 4 inspirational solutions. And after that, we have a very, very short presentation of our platform, B2Match BlueMissionMed community, will be also done by our colleague from CNR, Elisa Conti. And finally, there will be the part of the hackathon, Blue Future, that we will use the Miro board, and we have the help from Selenia Marinelli from FBA. And I would like to ask you some things first during the presentation of our inspirational solutions. Please keep your questions. You can do it on the chat if you want. Of course, you can do it. For us, it will be easier if you do your questions, you present your questions in the collaborative part. While we are doing some things in the Miro board, maybe is the point where we can share our expectations or the questions we should have on the way you can connect with the different solutions. So that's all from my side. Let's start, and I'll leave the floor to Fedra Francocci from CNR, that's the coordinator of the BlueMissionMed project, and she will introduce you the mission and the project. Thank you. Fedra, the floor is yours. Sorry. Fedra?
Fedra, you're muted. It's not working.
It's not working? No, you're mute? Okay, great. This is the direct problems on live projects problems. Well, let's give her a couple of minutes. So for us, it's really important your participation in the interactive part at the end of the session. You will have the opportunity to write down the things you are looking for, if you are searching for a solution or if you are a solution provider, you will have the opportunity to write them down in our Miro board. And of course, you have a special opportunity to connect with the presenters of the solutions that we are presenting today. So you have the opportunity to connect, to ask any questions you have. So we hope Fedra.
Mari Carmen, Fedra it's Elisa speaking.
Hi, it's Elisa. It's you.
Fedra is having problem with her computer, so I will take her part if it's fine with you.
Okay.
So I will just move along on the introduction of the mission. Yes. Thank you so much. So we are working inside the EU mission Restore Our Ocean and Waters. As Mari Carmen said, we are 3 years deep now with our project. We are going to conclude this month, but the mission is going onward, is going forward. And if you can move to the next slide. as I said, we are the representative in the Mediterranean Lighthouse, but we are working in a much more complex network of basins. Indeed, there is the Baltic and North Sea Basin, the Danube River and Black Sea basins, and the Atlantic and Arctic basin. We are working towards 3 different objectives. If you move to the next slide, I believe they're very well shown. We are working towards 3 objectives: the protection and restoration of marine and freshwater ecosystems and the biodiversity, the blue economy and carbon neutral and circular economy, and as the Mediterranean basin, we've been working especially towards the prevention and elimination of pollution, in particular the reduction of plastic litter, microplastic, nutrient losses, and the presence of chemical pesticides. So we are concluding 3 years of activities, of tasks, of events, working towards the objective number 2 of the mission Ocean and Waters. But the mission will be working towards 2030. So there's still 5 years of activities to be implemented. If you can go to the next slide. And here we are, the BlueMissionMed project. As Mari Carmen said, we are now concluding. We have been working with 16 partners from 7 countries of the Mediterranean basin towards objective number 2, as I already said. So the prevention and elimination of pollution has been our focal, has had our core attention towards up until now. Next, please. And what we've been doing to do this is supporting the development and deployment of innovative and transformative solutions, being said technological, social, business, and governance ones, through different actions, going from the boosting of a well-functioning basin-scale innovation ecosystem to attract investors and businesses. We've been facilitating the coherence, alignment, and monitoring of all policies at different levels and initiatives, ongoing and starting now in the Mediterranean basin. We've been providing services, technical services, governance, business models to support and guarantee a sustainable socioeconomic development of the Mediterranean basin. And we've been working towards ensuring engagement of all stakeholders, includes the society, private sector, governance sector, and citizen, with us also including citizen science approach. Next one, please.
That was the last one. Thank you.
And this is the last one. Thank you so much, and sorry for the quick change of speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Mari Carmen. Thank you, Elisa. No, just arrived. Okay. Thanks for this. Just let me maybe complement on with 2 main aspects, and thanks for highlighting the target of multi-stakeholder, and which is also in relation to what Mari Carmen was saying at the beginning. So the fishery and aquaculture sector, it's a very important sector, and it's one of the 7 sectors that we addressed in our exercise of bringing the needs, but also the challenges of the different sectors that are affecting marine and freshwater ecosystem, but in a way that is different. In a way that is oriented to the solution and to the enabling condition to achieve the transition of the different sectors. And Mari Carmen also said that we are arriving at the end of the project, but at the national level, we will still be active thanks to the BlueMissionMed national hubs, which Mari Carmen is leading. And so please consider the national nodes as reference for future support activity. Thanks again, Elisa and Mari Carmen, for this opportunity, and congratulations for the excellent activity on the hackathon, which is very impactful at the Mediterranean scale.
Thank you, Fedra. Thank you, Elisa. You're a great team. So we have problems and we can solve it just in a second. And thanks for all your clarifications. And as you said, the fisheries and aquaculture sector are in the core of the activities we are doing, and they are really important sectors for us. And also, as you said, I'm in the chart of the Spanish hub, but we have seven different hubs. I'll show you later in case you don't know. So let's move on for the following part. Again, I will just a brief description of what we are doing. And now we are going to present you some BlueMissionMed tools and resources that we have developed during this 3 years project. After that, we'll have the inspirational solutions, as I've said before. And finally, we'll finish with this Blue Future Hackathon with its participatory part. And we hope you are really active on that part. Thank you. So first of all, I would like to show you some of the key results and available tools that we have developed via this fantastic project. I think it's a very, very, very nice project. We have shown you 5 different points. The first part, we have developed an operational implementation roadmap with activities and priorities that to achieve the mission across 7 industry sectors, as Pedro said before. One of these sectors is aquaculture and fisheries. We have set an activation and activated the 7 national and regional hubs. You are part of these hubs. You are the core of these activities. You are the core of the things we have to do to achieve the goals of the missions. We have also developed a portfolio of innovative and transformative solutions. Today, we are having some of them to be presented. We also have some tools to showing some resources for stakeholders, including opportunities, enable factors, gaps, areas. We'll show you just briefly later. And we have put we have set a support program like this. This is a part of the support program with some activities to connect people and to put people together to do the things we have to do to achieve the objectives of the mission. Let's go briefly through these different key results and tools. The first part is the operational implementation roadmap that defines a shared vision and strategic priorities for transforming key sectors in the Mediterranean basin, and includes a strategic planning for agriculture, aquaculture, mainly on fisheries, wastewater, and the 7 different sectors we have mentioned before. All this information is available on our website, the BlueMissionMed website. I invite you to search for it and have a look at what we've been doing, because I think it's important for all of you to know what is being doing in the Mediterranean side to achieve these objectives. We also have activated, as I said before, these 7 national and regional hubs. What are the hubs? Well, these hubs are the regional multi-stakeholders communities which implement activities and priorities of the BlueMissionMed. You are the core of the BlueMissionMed governance structure, and the main activities and the main functions the hubs have in this huge project is to facilitate and support individuals and organizations willing to contribute to the achievements of the missions. And this tricky point is to create a connected network of actors, experts, and institutions, and catalyze the collaboration and coordination action that can be developed through this connected network. And of course, it's really useful to have this network, to have these hubs, to disseminate information, to amplify solutions, and mobilize relevant actors. Of course, it's important to raise awareness and emotional connection with the mission and citizen participation. The citizen participation is also in the core of the mission. And we also contribute to monitor and the implementation of the mission. And the another key points we have out there, another things we have been doing is to create a portfolio of innovative and transformative solutions that can contribute to transformational change towards the achievement of the missions of the missions objectives. So what we've been doing is to research and trying to compile the projects and initiatives that were evaluated. And what we have prepared is a portfolio of this process, taking into account the stakeholder contribution report, resulting in that we have 86 solutions in our catalog. This catalog is you can access to it in our BlueMissionMed website that is designed to be user-friendly and easily accessible for using seeker solutions or even providers. So this is just a slide to show some examples of your solutions and information that is included in each one. As I said before, today we are having the presentation of 4 of these solutions. You will see it on our website. It's very, very easy to find where are these solutions, and I invite you again to have a look to them. You can also have another key achievements for us is to a set of deliverables and tools that are also available on our website. And there you can find report on opportunities, enable factors, gaps, barriers, resistances, and needs for implemented solutions, the roadmap for key economic sectors to fulfill the European mission through the ITS and these innovative and transformative solutions, the operational implementation roadmap I mentioned before. There's also a toolkit for large-scale events, and there's also an education, awareness, and literacy materials. I invite you to visit and see our book. That's our Blue Treasure book that is available on and there is a gamified version. You can access to it also in our website. I invite you to have a look at this book that is really, really, really nice. And finally, we have set the support program. The support program aims to enhance the capacity of business, research, policymakers, and civil society at large to adopt and deploy innovations related to the mission. The target audience are researchers, entrepreneurs, public authority, and citizens active in social innovation processes. As you can see, anyone that have something to do or have something to say to achieve the objectives, this is our target audience. This support program activity includes the connection with solution providers with solution seekers, and also information to access to funding to increase and develop the technology readiness level of these solutions, and identify new needs and connect with researchers and partners to develop new projects and solutions. Of course, this support program is also helpful for strategic connections to scale up this solution. And now I'm just showing you a brief scheme of how this works. This support program started with a call for expression of interest, where the stakeholders, the researchers, the entrepreneurs, business, public authorities, anyone indicated which were their needs and interest to upscale or update solutions. And here you can find 2 different main groups, the solution providers and solution seekers. And depending what are you looking for, if you are a solution seeker, maybe your solution is 6 or not, or so you have an idea, you want something, and there are different needs. We are in the below part of this scheme. And if the solution is 6, we can do this matchmaking with the solution providers, that is the other branch of this scheme. So if the solution doesn't exist yet, well, we can do a subtype of activity like this hackathon to put you on contact to say, okay, I need this type of solution. So we have to search for people or for entrepreneurs or researchers that are doing something to achieve this solution. So it will depend also, of course, in the different technology readiness level, the different TRL, if the solution is at an early stage or is bankable yet or not. So this is more or less the idea, and we can help you to find the different funding you can ask for to develop your solution. And this is a part of our BlueMissionMed support program, where there are many different things we are doing, like this hackathon, or there are some different thematic webinars, mentoring and advisory services, matchmaking sessions, or investors engagement, etc. There are a lot of activities there. Also, you can see them in our web page. But we are going introducing the next part that is more important one here. But first, we have to define what is an innovative and transformative solution. But these solutions are novel products or methodologies that can contribute to transformative change towards achieving the mission objectives. In particular, in the Mediterranean, in this part is objective 2, as Elisa said before, prevention and elimination of marine pollutions. And these innovative and transformative solutions that may address the root of the problem and involving multiple actors at different levels. So the innovative and transformative solutions framework classify these solutions depending on a hierarchy of actions, as it is defined also in the objective 2 of the mission. These different levels are prevention. They can be a solution of prevention, minimization, elimination, or remediation. Or monitor and control. You can see that one, the last one, this monitor and control, is considered as a cross-cutting action for all types of the different solutions. Here, you can see some of the solutions that will not be presented today. You can find them in our web page, and they are all related to fisheries and aquaculture, and they are presented in the different ways. For example, in the first part, these 4 that we have here are prevention and elimination and remediation solutions. I invite you again to visit our web page to see them. And there are also, here's to have the other 4. We have elimination and remediation, monitor and control solutions. So again, I think I've said it around 10 times, but please visit our webpage, and there we will find some more information about all of this. And now we are going through our second part. It's the core of this session that for me is the most important one, is to, we are on time, almost on time. And now we are going to have the presentation of 4 inspirational solutions. In the first part, we have a toolbox for implementing policies in national laws and certified procedures. This is a solution that includes all hierarchy of actions. And after that, we have the development of bio-based growth prototypes for use in mussel and seaweed culture in an integrated multi-trophic aquaculture approach. Oh, very long. A prevention solution and a minimization solution is a restorative aquaculture through polyculture to recycle water and nutrients in fish farms. These 3 solutions are devoted to aquaculture sector. And finally, we have the 4th one is for depollution, this for the sector of fisheries. So I'm going to shut up myself. I will leave the floor to Ivona Jean. She's presenting us the solution toolbox for implementing policies in national laws and certification procedures. She is responsible for international relations, and the head of international relations of Nausicaa, Central National of the La Mer. So I will stop sharing my screen. And Ivona?
Oh, good morning,
the floor is
everyone.
yours. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank
Morning.
you. So I will try to share my screen now. Okay, can you see it now?
Yes. Not in presentation mode yet, but it's here.
Okay. Just trying to reduce. Well, no. Okay. So hello everyone. I'm trying to move this. Yeah. Okay. So hello everyone. So I work for Nausicaa. It is an aquarium in the north of France, and I would like to present you a toolbox that we have developed in the framework of the Aqualit project with several other organizations. And you can see their logos underneath. So this toolbox was related to 3 sea basins: the Baltic, the Mediterranean, and the North Sea. Yes, and I can't really. I think I can't. Yes. Okay. So, well, actually, the problem that was to be solved, it's of course plastic pollution, And because 8 to 11 million metric tons of plastic waste enter each year in the ocean, and the fisheries and aquaculture sectors, including fishing gear, are contributing to this local crisis of plastic pollution. And at the time when we developed the toolbox, there were no global estimates about the amount of plastic waste which was generated by fisheries and aquaculture sector. And the impacts of this plastic pollution is really enormous on the environmental, because it damages biodiversity and habitats. It has also an economic impact and, of course, the social impact. And on top of that, it was estimated that the aquaculture is expected to rise by 40% by 2030, because to catch up with the increasing demand for food. So this is why we worked on this solution. It is a digital platform which is accessible via website and the application. So the toolbox addresses the marine litter, and in particular 3 stages in marine litter management, which are prevention and reduction, monitoring and quantification, and removal and recycling. So actually, this toolbox, we call it Tide Against Marine Litter, and there were 6 sections. There are 6 sections in the toolbox. I'm not going to explain all of them. I will leave some for you to discover if you connect to the website. So one of the section is solutions and measures. So in these sections we have identified different solutions and measures with the practitioners in all 3 sea basins, and we have classified them, organized them according to in all the whether they related to prevention and reduction, to monitoring, quantification, on removal and recycling. They can also be searched through by measure, like, for example, whether it's a knowledge, whether it's a legislation, or whether it's a solution relating to responsibility or support. They can also be searched by type of aquaculture, whether it relates to fish aquaculture, seashell, or seaweed aquaculture type. And of course, by geographical location, sea basin. Another section is marine litter inventory, which is a massive inventory that we carried out based on existing research. And so we also organized and classified litter coming from aquaculture sector in different categories. And again, it can be searched for by category or sea basin and other geographical parameters. And the final part that I would like to talk about is the action plans for policy and recommendations. This part was dedicated to policy makers and on the local and regional national levels, and it contains 58 recommendations about how policymakers can take action. So it can be through education training, through regulations, through support for technical and financial support, certification systems, or simply waste management. And finally, this platform is open to everyone working in the aquaculture sector, so everyone can access it, and also not only to search for the information and solutions, but also to submit their own information and their own solutions and measures that they have put in place and they want to share with the rest of Europe and the rest of users. So, so at that time, when the application was, when the digital platform was produced, it has been a unique solution for managing marine litter in the aquaculture sector. And it's unique because it contains a massive repertoire of actionable solutions. We have counted 400 different solutions, including best practice, technical measures, policy guidance. It is very comprehensive and end-to-end because it covers all phases of marine litter management, from prevention, monitoring, removal to recycling. It has a relevance to different diverse stakeholders, including producers, ports, NGOs, policymakers, researchers, academia, also equipment suppliers, and many more. And it has been developed in a co-creation process with the practitioners directly in the 3 sea basins through the living labs and workshops. It is also unique because it bridges scientific knowledge, policy, and practice from the field. It is flexible and adaptable. It can be transferred to other seas and regions, to other aquaculture practices and techniques and regulatory context. And it's also evolving because it's an online repository. It's still open to stakeholders for continuous contributions. And finally, so the business model. So I have already mentioned the customer segments, which are producers, waste management companies, certification bodies, and so on. And they have been accessed through the online portal, of course, but also we have put in place at that time living labs and workshops and partnerships, and there were also conferences. In terms of the revenue, the project started with the European funds. It was funded by the European Maritime Fisheries Fund, and it was a 2-year project, which is ended now, but it has still the potential for consulting, recycling contracts, certification, and public funding and licensing. It is, in terms of sustainability and scaling, it is open source because it can be still accessed by stakeholders and enriched with their contributions. And the key partners that developed the model was a consortium managed by Leonardo in Hungary. Other partners were Euroocean, Flanders Marine Institute, VLIS, Sustainable Projects, Spanish Institute of Oceanography, and the Portuguese Fund for Research and Innovation based in the Azores and Nausicaa. So although the project ended in 2020, it has attained the TR level, which is very high, and because it's sustainable and scaling, it can be still updated, and if there is a possibility to develop a new application or take this application to a higher level and update it, it is still, possible. So, well, thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Ivana. Really interesting and a really nice presentation. Congratulations. And I'm sharing my screen again. I think, I don't know if you are seeing it.
Yes.
Well, you're going to lead the floor to our next speaker. That is Ioannis Karakasis. I hope I have said correctly the name. He's the head of Marine Ecology Lab, professor at the University of Crete, and he will present us the solution restorative aquaculture through polyculture to recycle water and nutrients in fish farms. So, Ioannis, the floor is yours. I'll stop sharing my screen. Okay, thank you. We are seeing now, Ioannis, you are mute. And we are not seeing your presentation. We are seeing the concept note of this hackathon. Okay. Your mic is off, Ioannis.
Microsoft.
Sorry?
No.
There's a question in the chat. Maybe later
This
we
should be
can
okay
ask.
now?
Oh, okay. The floor
Yes.
is yours, Yanis.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the invitation. I would like to present a few things about our recent work on innovative development of multi-trophic aquaculture. This was a project which was actually funded by the Greek Ministry for Agriculture and Food Production. It's coordinated by the University of Crete, and we have participants also from HCMR, Hellenic Center for Marine Research, and 3 different fish farms in different environments, from oligotrophic to eutrophic. I have to say that our team has been mainly involved in research on environmental interactions of aquaculture, including geochemistry, benthos, plankton, fish, seagrasses, metals and other pollutants in different spatial and temporal scales, and also on issues like carrying capacity and marine spatial planning to use these findings. So the idea here is that we know that there is a rapid expansion of aquaculture in Greece and in the Mediterranean, and we have a large amount of wastes produced every year. So we have something like 60,000 tons of nitrogen and 12,000 tons of phosphorus, which is discharged in the environment and not used by the fish farms. Perhaps we should consider the integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, which can be a solution to this problem, so we can get back some of this wasted material. But there are questions and reservations, particularly on food safety issues. I would say that most authorities in Europe are quite reluctant to provide license for production of IMTA, which is the production of edible organisms fed with wastes of other organisms. Now, for those of us which are marine biologists, they know that this is the rule in the marine environment, but for consumers there are still doubts, and for regulators even more. So there are concerns about the environmental impact in general and the wasted material that could be exploited, increasing also profitability of the farming companies. So our project was about that, about testing organisms suitable for integrated multi-trophic aquaculture, deployment at various distances from farms in order to see how changes in environmental conditions could affect this type of process, following growth with time, assessing the effects on natural habitats, and also to address the food safety issues, which are probably among the most important things here. All these are in alignment with the EU mission objectives, particularly restore our oceans and waters and reducing and eliminating pollution. So the screening we had about different organisms like mussels, pearl oysters, holothurians, macro and microalgae. We added up the first 3 of them. The last one is this is a bioreactor still, but we don't have time to discuss this now. It was presented in a PhD project a few months ago in our university, and this is still further developed. So we used Mytilus galloprovincialis, the common Mediterranean mussel, which are feeding organisms. It's mainly phytoplankton and is of high commercial value. Then Pinctata imbricata radiata, this is a non-indigenous species, which is again a filter feeding organisms which consumes phytoplankton, but also small organic particles. And they are recently introduced in the market and have even more high commercial value than the mussels. And finally, we have in the last column here the Holothuria poly, which belongs to echinoderms. They are sediment deposit feeders. They change dramatically, positively, the sediment properties beneath fish farms or beneath mussel farms, and have even much high commercial value, particularly in the markets of Asia. You can see at the bottom here a paper that was published by comparing changes in the production of these organisms. The most interesting thing was that we did this food safety test, and I would say regarding the value proposition, there is already space in the market for IMTA products, occasionally with much higher value than that of the farmed fish. There's a long tradition in China and the rest of Asia, but rather poor market in the EU. The food safety tests were absolutely satisfactory. In all cases, we have seen things like metals. You can see on the basis of this transparency, and also biotoxins, dioxins, DDD, DDE, toxic macroalgae, antibiotics, microplastics, and so on. And all of them seem to be very, very positive, which means that they were either below the LOD, the level of detection, or within acceptable levels. So in general, it seems that this concept is green for the environment, is safe for the consumer, and is profitable for the producer. So it is a win-win-win situation. Regarding the business models and implementation, I would say that at the moment we are at a pre-seed stage. So we are still developing the whole idea, but I think there are already tangible results that can be used. The current organization structure is that of a research team, so using people from the University of Crete, the HCMR, including biologists, chemists, material scientists, engineers, and so on, plus associates from fish and mussel farms, which were with us all these years. The target clients are aquaculture farming companies that could use this technology, accessible through common projects and meetings. And we have a unique problem-solving approach and communication methods with each customer to further refine this idea. So, are we looking for partners? Well, yes, we would like to see partners with expertise on IMTA organisms, collaboration in progress with already existing teams in Europe and Asia, and cultivation of early stages of Holothurians and aquaculture farms. We have also, we're interested in pre-existing aquaculture facilities, interested in reducing their environmental footprint. So what would we like to get funded for is further refinement of methodology and optimization of culture techniques. I think we need that and some time on that. Setting up necessary support infrastructure depending on client needs. And regarding TRL, I think this will be used in 2 years' time. But before that, we need to resolve licensing issues by the competent authorities. Here you can see some of the publications that have been published in this field. So it's metals and IMTA. This is the most recent one, which is 2006 coming out. Mitigating impacts of aquaculture, how sediment properties change with holothurians. IMTA farming, all different aspects. Ecosystem value services and microplastics are have been published as well. And these are our contact details. I hope I kept the time needed. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ioannis. I think it's very, very nice presentation and is tied to time. And also, I think it's you have captured perfectly the essence of this session. What can you offer? What are you looking for searching for connections, partners, and so on, and a very interesting initiative. So thank you very much. So let's move on, and let's share the screen again. I think you're seeing it, and let's move to our next speaker. She's Lady Aranzamendi. She's the Senior Researcher in Sustainable Aquaculture, Marine and Coastal Environmental Management in ARTI, Spain. And she will present us the solution development of bio-based rope prototypes for use in mussel and seaweed culture in an integrated multi-trophic aquaculture approach. Also very long title. So Lady, the floor is yours. I'll stop sharing my screen.
Yes, thank you, Mari Carmen, for the presentation. And I will try to share my screen now.
That's great.
Is it okay? Can you see
it's okay.
it?
I see it. It's not in presentation mode yet.
Yeah, it takes like a few... Okay, can you see it now?
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, fantastic. So thanks for the invitation. And yeah, I will try to present you the idea, the main concept of our solution, which is biogears. In a shorter version, it's bio-based ropes for mussel aquaculture, although they can be used in a multi-trophic also with algae. Okay, I'm Lady Aranzamendi. I'm a senior researcher in ASTI, and I will go on with the presentation. Okay, as we have here today, and as we know, aquaculture can be a source of marine litter and plastic pollution. Yearly, more than 40,000 tons of plastic are yearly discarded from aquaculture, and I think that these figures can be higher. Some authors talk about more than 67,000 tons only from bioviable aquaculture. So this is a clear problem we need to tackle, and we know that there are current strategies aiming to reduce this marine litter and also microplastics from this litter by 2030. So what can we do? We have a solution, developed a solution for suspended mussel aquaculture. They are ropes manufactured from bio-based and biodegradable and compostable materials. And we have validated them in mussel aquaculture, and we have done some work also in macroalgae, but what I'm showing today are results from this mussel validation, let's say. And we have seen that for 1 year culture, they are more eco-efficient, which means that they can increase by 85% in the mussel yield per meter, linear meter of rope, and obtaining a reduction of 20% in the environmental footprint per kilogram mussel produced. So this means that we have higher production of mussels by a lower environmental cost, and that then these biomaterials that are currently more expensive in the market, their higher price can be compensated by higher mussel productions. So our value proposition is then higher performance rope, cost effective, bio-based, biodegradable and compostable ropes for this aquaculture, which are the competitive advantages. This higher price in raw materials can be compensated. We have sustainability as a value. We have value of lower environmental footprint. This is the core of this value, I would say. We also have the regulatory compliance on the current strategies for the use of plastics in the sea environment. We have also durability, although these materials can be less durable at sea. We have produced some ropes that can be as durable as the conventional fossil-based ropes in mussel production, and we also fit to a circular economy. We have a schedule, or we have defined this circular value chain of the ropes that can be compostable at the end of life, get renewable resources, and get them to other value chains, creating new products, or by extraction, get sugar, cellulose, starch, which by bioprocesses can form again bioplastics, and then can be manufactured into suspended ropes, into ropes. These ropes can have other end-of-life options like reuse or recycling, either mechanical or chemical. This definition of this value chain definition has been published, and you can find in the literature, and which is our business model and implementation model. We have already established a consortium exploitation agreement between ASTI, Geiger, and Centesbel, which we were 3 out of 5 partners in BioGears project. We are the consortium exploiting this asset. We have also submitted applications for European patent and trademark registration. We have BioGears as a trademark registered. Our targeted clients are in, but also outside Europe, everywhere which aquaculture can be more sustainable. Our revenue, we aim to get revenue from IP transfer by patent licensing to plastic industry, or either yarn producers, raw producers, or aquaculture gear suppliers, also aquaculture farmers. And the market potential is could be quite high, not just for mussel, but for a growing algae sector throughout Europe and also worldwide. And we are then looking for clients for this patent licensing. We are also looking for industrial partners for scalability and also new validation at sea. We would like to validate these gears in different environments or sea environments in different regions. And we are also, for this, developing new trials to increase this technology readiness level. Now it's in 7-8. We are doing this in a transition project, and also have submitted some proposals for the use of these ropes in the algae sector. So this is our proposition as a preventive solution for plastic pollution in the Mediterranean, and why not throughout Europe and the world. So thanks for your attention, and I will be open to your questions in a while. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Lady. Really, really interesting. I love these sessions because I always learn a lot, and I think it's a very innovative solution that, of course, we hopefully you can develop it and get the patent and so on. So congratulations for the presentation. And now we are going to to leave the floor to our last presenter. This is Professor Jen Nisman. I suppose you're here. He's the head of Intelligent Sensing and Communication in Newcastle University, and he will present us the solution acoustic technology for tagging and tracking fishing gear. So, are you here? Yes?
I am, yes.
Hello. You can share your screen, or I can move your presentation if you want.
Okay,
I have it here.
Yeah, just go ahead with your presentation.
Okay.
That'd be all right.
So, this is the presentation.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
just say
so-
next slide and I'm here. So,
Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. So I'm here to talk about my gear tag, which is a technology to try and reduce the amount of fishing gear lost at sea. So this is a development by Newcastle University, which I represent, and it's part of the NetTag Plus project, which is a Mission Ocean project, including lots of interdisciplinary partners. And we're also including Suckerfish, which is a UK company who are the commercial partner for exploiting this technology. So next slide, please. So what is the problem we're trying to solve? So it's estimated that somewhere between half a million and 1 million tons of fishing gear is lost at sea every year, and this is obviously a huge problem. Fishing gear left behind becomes ghost gear, which continues to endanger wildlife for a long time after it's lost. And then even longer term, this fishing gear tends to break down and contributes to the microplastic pollution in our oceans. And we've heard a lot about that already today. So I'm sure you're all aware what a big problem that is. So when fishers lose gear at sea, particularly if it's valuable gear, then they'll often spend quite a lot of time and effort trying to recover it. But at the moment, their techniques are quite crude. They essentially will drag a hook around in the hope that they catch this gear, and they can spend many hours doing this and still have quite a low success rate in recovering their gear. It's also a method that obviously can cause environmental damage in itself, dragging a hook around on the seabed. So if possible, we'd like to keep that to a minimum and also increase the success rate in recovering lost gear. The next slide, please. So my gear tag is a affordable subsea acoustic transponder or acoustic tag. So an acoustic transponder is a device that sits there and listens for a particular sound. And when it hears that sound, it will reply immediately. And from that, we can accurately measure the distance from the device on the surface that interrogated the transponder to the transponder itself. And it's important to stress that being a transponder technology, this device is quiet at all times other than when it's replying to an interrogation command. So pinger devices that are often attached to fishing gear, they will generate noise constantly, whether anyone's looking for them or not. And that's potentially an environmental problem in itself, whereas a transponder remains completely silent and doesn't contribute to noise pollution. So alongside the transponder devices, we have a locator device, which is you deploy from the surface. This is a device you simply drop into the water, and then it connects on the surface via Bluetooth to a mobile app running on any phone or tablet device. And we have Android and iOS versions of the app. And this is a simple to use app that guides you through the process of locating your lost gear or locating the tag. And in trials, we've consistently demonstrated that from a starting position up to 2 kilometers away, we can pinpoint the position of a lost tag within about 10 minutes. And we've done this in lots of different environments, the North Sea, the Mediterranean, the North Atlantic, even the Indian Ocean. Each device has a globally unique ID. So this is like your telephone number, and it's unique to you. And you can, the only people who can find your tag are people who have been given that unique ID. So if a fisher keeps that to themselves, they're the only person who can find their tag. If they want to share it with others and allow them to search for their lost gear, they can do that. And the device has a battery life of months. So if you don't manage to locate and recover your gear within the first few hours or even days, you've still got potentially a window of months when this device can be located. And this could eventually be by authorities or NGOs doing cleanup operations, as well as the fishers themselves. Although ideally, it's the fishers themselves who recover this gear very quickly. So you can see the device there installed on a net, and you can see a typical output from the app showing the process of locating the tag and establishing the final position. Next slide, please. So the value of this proposition. So acoustic transponder technology has been around for decades. However, this really out of reach of fishers. It's really the domain of oil and gas industry or defense industries. Typical devices cost many thousands of euros, even tens of thousands of euros. They're very complex to operate, and you typically need somebody who's got good expertise in hydrographic surveying to operate these systems. Conversely, my gear tag has been developed to be much lower cost. So at the moment, around about 400 euros. But in time, we're hoping to drive that cost down even further once we get this device into high volume production. It's proven by ordinary fishers. So we've shown that ordinary fishers with minimal training can operate this technology, and that's important. It's no good if you need a PhD in underwater technology to operate this device. And the tags can be attached to most fishing gear types. We've demonstrated them on lots of different types of nets and particularly traps, lobster traps and things like that. And even the surface location unit, fishers don't actually all have to have one of these. It could be shared amongst fishers so that you borrow the locator if you've lost some gear. So you attach tags to your gear and normally you're going to recover them. But if you've lost your gear, you could even loan the surface locator from somebody else. And that keeps the cost to fishers down. Next slide, please. So what is our business model? So Newcastle University have done most of the technology development and hold most of the IP. But we've worked closely with a commercial partner, Suckerfish, who sell technology into the fishing industry already. So at the moment, they sell lots of technology for above water. This is really their first device for underwater operation. So we've licensed the technology to them. They've developed high TRL prototypes. And we actually sold a few systems to first adopters. So the position we're in now is that we have a commercialization partner. We're bringing it to market, but we're very keen to find partners who can help us scale up the use of this technology to identify interesting use cases, how this technology can be used to achieve the greatest impact in reducing ghost fishing and plastic pollution. Although it should be said, the technology can be attached to any underwater asset that you don't want to lose. So there's wide potential for this. And we're obviously looking for trial opportunities in different environments and in different fishing or even aquaculture applications to really try and explore the use of this system, optimize it to get the best performance and so on. So next slide. Okay, so thank you for listening. If you want to contact us, you can see there's a website set up for the My Gear Tag product. You can find out more about the NetTag Plus project on the link there. And that covers not just the technology, but also policy and promoting good practice among fishers. So it's a very large interdisciplinary project. And you've got my email and the email of Richard Hooper, or Chad as he's known, who's the CEO of Suckerfish, the commercial partner. So thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Jeff. I think very, very interesting. This is a huge problem, the ghost nets. So I think it's a really nice solution and surprisingly cheap for me. Well, let's see if later there are some new questions. And now I'm leaving the floor again to Lisa Conti. She will introduce us the B2Match BlueMissionMed community. So the floor is yours, Elisa.
Thank you, Mari Carmen. Thank you, Mari Carmen. Again, it's me. I'm just going to see a couple of minutes to showcase the latest platform we launched. Even though we are concluding the project, we are not finishing with our job as part of the Mission Ocean and Waters. Indeed, last month, a couple of months ago, we've launched the BlueMissionMed community through the B2Match platform. This is a platform that we leave at your disposal. It's free of charge, obviously, to join in. I will add the link shortly in the chat box, so you can go directly on the BlueMissionMed community platform. This will be a space where you, as Mediterranean stakeholders, will be able to connect, learn, and grow together. You will find tools, services, and all the opportunities that will go towards the implementation of the 3 mission objectives that I already presented at the opening of the event. Through the platform, you will be able to showcase your solutions, your projects, all the opportunities, even calls that are now in this moment open. They are presented on the platform. There will be tailored support programs and capacity buildings. We've been using the platforms in the past weeks to do so, and very much important, you will have the opportunity to matchmake and cooperate with other stakeholders. So we are just giving you another way. This is, as I said, it's part of the BlueMissionMed support program. So this is again a service that we present you with. Next slide, please. So the only things you have to do is go on the BlueMissionMed community platform, register on the platform itself. As I said, it's free of charge. The only part of the platform that is not visible to you, if you're not registered, it's the marketplace part, where there is all the opportunities presented by other stakeholders. So register on the platform, save the events that are present in the upcoming events section. You can see the other participants of the platform. You can send message, receive them. And as I said, it's an opportunity for you to be able to network even online at all given times. There is no pre-recorded session. So you will be able to find other people that are now currently working towards the implementation of the mission in the Mediterranean basin. Thank you so much, Mari Carmen, for this opportunity, and thanks to all the participants to today's event. It's incredible as per usual. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elisa. As I always say, this is a really, really nice platform. I invite you to all of you to register. There's a fantastic place to connect to each other. Our project is almost ready to finish, but as Fred said before, and Elisa, this is our heritage. You can connect here, you can talk to each other, you can find new solutions and do some matchmaking. So please go there, and we have invited you to register before this event, but we will continue doing that from the hubs, because we think this is a really useful platform, because we have to search for the solutions together, and the only way to find them is working together. And we need a place to do that. And the B2Match platform, I think, is a really nice place to do this part of the connection. So we are almost ready for the third part of this session, and we are now participating in the properly said hackathon. Is the interactive part. In this part, we are going to use the Miro platform, and you can see the link in the chat. And I think we have here our colleague from FBA. She is Selenia Marinelli.
Yes,
Hi,
I hope you
Selenia.
can hear
Let
me. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you, but I should share the correct. I need a second. Let me see. I think I have Miro board here. Can you see it? The
Yes,
Miro board?
yes,
Yes,
we can see
Miro.
it.
Sorry,
And
I always say Miro because I'm Spanish, but I know it's Miro.
yeah, no worries. And I saw that Araceli also provided the link in the chat box so you can enter. And I just wanted to provide you a quick overview on how to use Miro board for those who are not yet familiar with the tool. So you can navigate the board by clicking and dragging to move around, or you can zoom in and zoom out using your mouse scroll wheel or even the trackpad. But there are also the plus and minus buttons in the bottom right corner that you can use also to navigate and zoom the different boards. And as you can see here, we will have two thematic sessions. And for each sessions, of course, we will have 10 minutes. You can see a timer that will be visible throughout the activity, so you will always know how much time is left. And you can see also that for each thematic board, we already provided you with a set of sticky notes. So you can just select a sticky note, move it into the board, and double click to add your text. And of course, the notes can be repositioned at any time. If you experience any difficulties, I will be available to assist you, of course. You can also write in the chat box your input, and I will, let's say, add your feedback in the related boards. And of course, we will keep the Miro open also a few days after this hackathon to allow also a time for further contributions if there are also other colleagues that want to provide their inputs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Selenia, as always. Well, as you can see, we have two parts in this interactive session in Miro. And in this first part, you can open it and start the time. We have around 10 minutes, maybe a bit less. In this part, we want to know who you are. So I invite you all to put here your identification details. You can see them here, your full name, the organization, and if you have an identification code or something, the way we can find you. And of course, we are interested not only in who you are, but we are mainly interested in what are you doing and what are the ongoing activities you are facing, classify them and briefly outline your current projects or work you are doing aligned with the sector, with concretely fisheries and aquaculture. This is the idea today, and related to the objectives of the mission. This is a way to connect. For us, it's very interesting to have this information. As Lenia said, the Miro board will be open for some days after this session. So don't be shy. First of all, please try to write. Choose your sticky note and decide if you are working on prevention. You have to choose the different part where you can put your activity. And for us, for the project, it's really important to know who we are and who are doing what in the Mediterranean side. So I think a lot of people here visiting Pathfinder, for example, well, visiting. So this is the idea. Meanwhile, if you want, I think we had a question in the chat box for our first, let me see. Okay, for our first speaker, for Ivona, there's a question in the link, in the chat, sorry. The question is, in which countries is the app available? Is it only from the EU? So Ivona?
Well, actually, at the beginning, as the project was funded by the European Union, it was based in Europe, in European countries. So the coordinator was based in Hungary. But then we work on three basins: Baltic, Mediterranean, and North Sea. So in the Mediterranean we have Spain, And then in the North Sea and Atlantic, there was Portugal and France, in the and Belgium, and in the Baltic, we have Germany. So this is how it was started at the beginning. But of course, it is open source. It is open to any contribution. So anyone can contribute. It's just that now I think the next step could be to scale up the application to other regions, maybe, and even other countries. Why not outside the Europe? Because there are many species that migrate, and so there is an open avenue to this, I think.
Okay, thank you, Ivana. Don't be shy. Please write down your affiliation, your name, and describe who you are. We have another question in the chat for BioGear. And the question is, has the BioGear been tested also for fisheries EJFADs? So this is for you, Jeff.
Yeah, I can answer now.
Oh, sorry.
Or put in okay.
No, please answer.
Okay. No, not yet, but I will be next Monday in a workshop regarding fats and their use in different oceans for tuna fisheries, and I will be also speaking there to talk about this biogear solution for aquaculture, but also trying to get collaborations or trying to fix some possibilities for to be used in fats.
Okay, Stefania.
Thank you. The question is from me.
Could you please?
Yes.
I cannot hear you
very well. Very well.
Can you hear?
Could you put it louder?
Okay, now maybe.
Better.
Is it better? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm Stefania, working for WWF. Yes, it would be very interesting because we are currently looking at possible alternatives for the ropes used in fads, different types of fads. I mean, we know, for the tuna fisheries, there is an ongoing work on biodegradable fads, so including also the ropes. But there are also specific kind of more, let's say, less sophisticated fads used also in, especially in the Italian fishery. And we are struggling to find solutions, especially for ropes. So that would be very interesting if we could connect and maybe if you could let us know regarding this. And for the fisheries, the same. I mean, we are involved in a series of projects trying to find alternative to some types of fishing gear, if there are, possible, bio-based alternatives for certain components. Maybe if you can, let us know, or if we could test it, for example, in some areas.
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic opportunity to collaborate. I think also that the solutions might go to fisheries aquaculture can be like commonly used for the common problem. So perhaps we can chat later or have our contacts. I can give you my.
Yeah, I think I saw. I took a picture of your contacts. I might send you an email. Yes.
Okay. Just in any case, if all of you agree, if any one of you don't agree, please let us know. We can prepare a list of participants interested and we can share, but only if you want. If you all agree, we'll send you a mail asking for permission to share your presentations also. And also the presentation is being recorded and will be uploaded in our webpage. But also if you want to get in touch to each other, we can facilitate that, okay?
Okay.
And so let's go back to the MyRobot. I think we are a bit late running out of time. So as I said before, my robot will be open, and maybe we can move here. It was just to present yourself, but the most important part for us is the second part. In this part, what we want to hear from you is what are the next steps? What do you need to move forward? What are you looking for? What can you offer? What are you working in? And what kind of solution are you seeking, or what solution are you providing, or what are ideas, or you're searching for new colleagues, for new partners or financial? So you have 4 different boxes here. If you're stakeholders for fishery sector or stakeholder aquaculture sector, if you want to co-create or showcase new projects, or if you are searching for collaboration opportunities. So for us, again, it's really important to have this information and to make the possible connections that can be, this session can be a source of connection. I remind you that to register in our B2Match platform, that this platform will continue more next year, not this year, because as we've said before, the project is almost ready to finish. So I encourage you to visit this platform to register here. Join us. Araceli, thanks. She has put again the link in the chat to register. Okay. This is the connection. The B2Match platform is really good for connecting the different parts of the different sectors that are involved in seeking the solutions. So please go ahead and don't be shy. Please don't be shy and write down what you think you can add to us. This also will be really helpful for us to make a report of this session. And of course, sorry, is it possible to download the recording? There's a question. The recording will be disposable in our web page, the BlueMissionMed web page, so you can see it. I'm not sure it is possible to download it. The second part of the, sorry? It's the Milo. The second part of the Milo, yeah. Lady said in the chat that she will be presenting at ISFF organizing the National Workshop on biodegradable FATs in December 25 in Aquarium San Sebastián in Spain. Okay. So if any of you have any questions, we have only 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes left, because we want to end on time. Look at, for example, I can see very well because I need better glasses than this one. WWF, they are looking for recycling options for ghost gear. That's a very important problem we have. For me, it has been, today, I always say the same, I learn a lot, and the numbers are incredible. For example, Ioannis said that there are 60,000 tons of nitrogen released in the sea and 12,000 tons of phosphorus. I think they are huge quantities. And for me, I have a question for Ioannis, because I didn't know that it was more developed, this integrated multi-trophic aquaculture in China. I knew about that, but I don't work in aquaculture, as you can see. I'm a sonographer, but not working on that. But I thought that in Europe, we were working towards this. But for me, it's surprising that they are not working a lot.
Yes, in China, there's a long tradition on that. They have been doing that for centuries. Not necessarily with the best of conditions, but they have done it. I understand that in Europe there is a reluctance of the regulators to provide expansion of licensing for aquaculture to do this modification by adding new components like, for instance, invertebrates in the vicinity of fish farms and so on. That's one of the problems. What was the number of nutrients? Of course, it was an assumption. So you have a certain amount of production, so you have an FCR, food conversion ratio, of 2 to 1, and then we know what is approximately the amount of nitrogen and phosphorus per kilo of fish feed. However, it is true again that because Mediterranean is very oligotrophic, we have a rapid absorption of this, which goes up the food web really, really fast. But on the other hand, if you can use this source of nutrients where it is released and before it spread and becomes wild fish, dolphins, or whatever else, we could somehow exploit that and add profitability to the already existing farms. We have done some work in the past showing positive externalities of aquaculture on fisheries. So showing that it is possible that all these nutrients will increase primary productivity in the vicinity of fish farms, and then this will increase also wild fish production, which is good for fisheries, of course. But again, the way of using good quality nutrients or organic material to feed organisms that could be there and selected as such, it would be a very interesting way of minimizing the effluents to the environment.
Thank you, Yanis. There's a question here from Roger Preston. Maybe Elisa or Fedra can answer. Do you have a consortium agreement in place for co-funded BlueMed partnerships? I don't know if Fedra is still here or Elisa. If not, don't worry, Roger. We'll get the answer and reach you soon, just to answer your question. And I have also a question for Jeff. I think it's very interesting, but I suppose the main problem, as I've said, I'm an oceanographer. I don't work in fisheries, but I suppose the main problem to recover the year should be the day where it's lost. So, and you have to do it very fast to do that, but no?
So, well, the technology will work down to at least 300 meters depth. So when we talk about distances, we're usually talking about horizontal range. So the fisheries we're looking at, 300 meters is about the max operating depth, i.e. where they would deploy gear. Obviously, gear could be lost in deeper water. In theory, we can locate it, but it's very debatable what you can do about actually recovering it in that sort of depth. So the sort of methods that the fishers currently use to recover gear are feasible in continental shelf waters, maybe 100 meters, maybe as much as 300 meters. But once you start talking about thousands of meters, obviously that it's not feasible. We're also within the project demonstrating how this technology can be combined with robotic underwater vehicles to help with recovery. So one of the other partners, Ines Tech in Portugal, are developing a robot that can use the tag to home in. So it'll home in on the tag, attach something to the net to help recovery, and then come back. So there are other technologies you can use to help with the recovery. But yeah, we're only a solution for locating the device. Once you've located it, and we can locate it very accurately, you're reliant obviously on other technologies to help you get this gear to the surface. But we've looked at quite a few other use cases as well, giving these transponders to divers, for example. So if they find some gear that they're not able to deal with themselves, they can mark the gear, and somebody later can come back with a ship or a robot or whatever to try and help deal with that gear. So there's lots of different ways it can be used. But give a good example of how this has been successfully employed. About 2 years ago, we had a major storm in the North Sea. Lots of gear was lost. And we had one of the early prototypes for this device installed on some scientific moorings out there. And these moorings were lost in the storm. So they tried their usual method to try and catch them, as I said, dragging a hook around with no success. And then 6 weeks later, I came out with the locator device, and within 5 minutes, we told them exactly where the device was on the seabed. They dragged a hook over it, and first time they caught it.
Oh.
And recovered some valuable instruments. So obviously the hope is that we'll be doing similar things with fishing gear in the future.
Okay, thank you. I've lost many instruments in the sea. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And that's definitely another application of a low-cost transponder. Yeah.
Okay. So it's time. So thank you very much for attendance. Thank you very much for our great speakers. I think we have been shown 4 different innovative solutions that they are really, really nice, really good. We are in the way. I remind you again to register into our platform. We will send you a mail if you agree to connect to each other. And please, the Microbot will be open for following days. So you can write down, please sign, put your name if you want to get in touch with each other, or if you want us to put you in contact also, it will be useful. And thank you very much. That's all from our side. And I think it's a fantastic session. I've learned a lot. So
Thank you.
I hope to see you soon somewhere for sure.
Thanks to you.
Thank
Nice
you.
session. Thank you.
Nice session.
Bye.
See you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.